Hi everyone, welcome back. This is part 3 of how to set up a Windows server. This is on VMware or on a computer. So this episode we will be learning what the features are and the roles of a server. Um, what you'll have to do first is open up the server manager. And you'll find out that this is where you go a lot to manage the server itself. Um, you won't go in any other features on Windows besides editing each individual feature, and you'll understand what I mean in a little bit. So you can have a server set up to do tons of different things, which is what's great about Windows Server. And the best thing is that it comes built in already. All you have to do is just add them on. So if you go up to the top and hit Manage, Add Roles and Features, you can skip this first page, and you can skip the second one. And what you can see is that you will have your server with the IP address already selected. If you have a bunch of servers that are tied together in a single server pool, then you can select which one you want to deploy it to. So we'll click Next again. And this is where you will choose the server roles. And you can have more than one. You can't just have one thing specific for this whole entire server. You can have multiple things running on it. So the first one right here, Active Directory, is what the Windows Server is really well known for. What Active Directory is it's the contact book for, say, your whole school, your whole business, where anybody can go on and get like email addresses and phone numbers from the people who work there or students and so on. This is widely used across business and schools all over. And then you have a bunch of different things to go along with the Active Directory. Next, we have an application server, which is exactly what it sounds, is where you can host applications that you build with the .NET framework or possibly others. Next, we have the DHCP server. Remember talking about that earlier. The DHCP server is what hands out the IPs, and most of the time that is either a Linux or Windows server. So the DHCP server is running Windows. We have a DNS server or domain name server. You'll use that to associate a domain name to the server. And then we have a fax server, Hyper-V, network policy, print and document, remote access, remote desktop, server update services. There's a ton of them. Then when you go back and you start adding the features, you can see there are even more. So you can scroll down these. If you don't know what they all mean, you can look them up. If you just type in the protocol, like Telnet client, you can be able to find it right on Google what Telnet is. So for the next demonstration, we will be setting up a web server using the IIS, and you'll find out what that is when we add that on. So when you add a role and feature to a server, it will partition a little bit of the server for this certain feature or role. And like I said, you can have more than one on there that can be hosted through the same IP through different ports, or you can associate more than one IP to the single server. So in the next video, we'll be setting up a web server for a website that you can be able to view locally on your network and on your local computer. And then later on, we will eventually set up the router so that you can access it anywhere on the internet. So that's all I have for you guys, and I hope you check out the next videos.